What if you want to take that van to places it's never been before? Welcome to Weld, where each week we explore different pathways in the welding industry. And this week, I got to take a trip down the road to visit my good friends Seth and Justin Williams here at the SwimShop to talk about converting vans to 4x4 monsters. First of all, where did the whole idea to start working on vans come from?
I think it just comes from love of rock and roll and all things 70s. I mean, it's a rolling living room. It looks cool. I mean, you can do wild paint jobs, shag carpet. That was my whole idea. I was like, I got to have a van. So we found one and transmission was out of it. This guy was using it as storage. Like, it was Christmas stuff, junk all in there, had to get it out.
And we were looking at this thing, and it was like, man, this is an old people van. This is all we can find. It's an old people van. But still, at that time, I thought they were dumb. But we went downtown Winston, got lunch, and sat inside the van and watched people. And I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And that's when I got the idea of trying to make it look cooler, because he wanted a boogie van. So we just got the idea to make it four-wheel drive, and it all started from there, man. It just all started from there.
The first place I ever met you guys was the Jimmy June Festival. And I mean, every time we played with you, you guys always showed up with some sort of crazy either van or bus. And it was really cool. When it comes to changing it into 4x4, right? Like your standard van, like what is the process? Like what's step one?
My background is I grew up off-road racing. My dad raced Jeeps and I always fooled with four-wheel drives, trail riding, messing with Jeeps. So I kind of had an idea about how four-wheel drive worked. But when we got the van and we put it on the lift the first time, we didn't realize, we thought they had frames under them.
Yeah.
So I was under the impression, this will be easy. We'll just take the body off of it and put it on a Chevrolet truck frame or a Blazer or something. But when we got it down here and got it on the lift, we realized they're unibody. So there's no frame under them. It's a unibody setup. So it was a lot of trial and error.
Man, I mean, so much measuring.
Yeah.
Because some of the van, the way the unibody structure is, I mean, one frame rail kind of kicks out this way in the front, and the other one goes straight, and then the motor's off to the side, so the center's not the center because the driver needs more room inside the cab. The engine's back. I mean, it's just, you think, oh, it's just a bigger truck. It's just a truck with a big bubble as a body, and it's
a different animal altogether.
Completely different.
Sure. Different animal.
You first started making a jig to make this easier for yourselves, correct?
Well, we made the first van that we made, Seth's van, and as a matter of fact, that van right now is in France. A guy bought it. It's in France, and
that's a wild story.
He took it to it. He's gone to South Africa with it and done excursions and all. So it's still, our very first van is still together out there today, but it was not in the kit form. Uh-huh. The first few that we built, we just made everything off of the vans itself on the lift. And we were like, we got this table. We cut this table in half. We've got all these vans in the back. So we got one of them in here, and we just cut the underside unibody of the van out and flipped it upside down and welded it to that table right there. And that's our jig.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
when you walked around there, that van that's nose down in the ground because there's no structure under it, that's it right there.
We've actually got we've got a YouTube channel too, SwimShop 4x4 Garage, and the video of where we cut that out and welded it to the table is on there. So every kit we've made, I think we figured out, we've made probably about 126 kits now. Every one of them have come off that jig right there.
Hey, that's resourcefulness right there.
Yeah, that's called being broke. Right, being broke.
Hey, you got to make it work. That was another thing, because like sometimes you just got to make it fit. What should people be prepared for, to make things fit?
Well, we've taken all the guesswork out of it as far as you don't have to do any measuring. Everything is done for you. It's bolt in. We use the existing holes in the van when you take the two-wheel drive stuff out that you can bolt the kit in. There's only two pieces you have to weld on. Everything else is bolt on. And you can weld it on if you want to. But the biggest part we were talking about earlier is not actually doing the conversion. It's doing the legwork of finding all the parts to do the conversion, the differentials, the transfer case, all the running gear to go up under it.
Where are you sourcing all that from?
Anywhere and everywhere.
Yes. I mean, just junkyards and parts of vehicles and stuff like
Facebook
that.
Marketplace.
Facebook Market.
That's part of the fun is the scavenger hunt. I would feel like
for sure. Because some of the parts, like you say, it's hard to come by, and when you find your perfect setup, it's like, thank God, all this running gear still exists. I'll be able to use it. It's tried and true, and all that stuff. So, and another thing with our kit, it pretty much mimics everything from a square body truck.
Okay.
So if you want to go 2-inch lift with leaf springs up front, all you got to do is open up a catalog. Anything that bolts onto a square body truck is going to fit our kit. So, because a lot of the conversions back in the day, they had to use custom leaf springs. The axle width, you had to change the leaf spring purchase on the axles, make everything fit, re-weld all that. And the kit takes all the guesswork out of that. So basically, like with my van, you're basically looking at a 3/4 ton square body Suburban, because that's everything in there mostly came from that vehicle, with the exception of the rear end, because that's a 1-ton van rear end, and van stuff is wider, so that bolted right up to the leaf springs. But other than that, I mean, you're looking at a square body.
Square body truck.
Square body truck, basically. I mean, it's not a Cadillac. You can tell you're 4-wheel drive, but they do ride and handle pretty good for what they are.
Okay, so when it does come down to the welding, we're talking welding today. So when it comes to welding, what processes are you using mainly?
You're asking the wrong guy. Like when we started, a guy worth mentioning here, Ivan Yarber, he was down here with us, and during the development of all the kit, he was doing a lot of the welding, and his background was from welding. And so when he got down here, he taught me a lot of the stuff. I know it's just get good penetration and have clean metal, especially with MIG. That's what we're using here is MIG.
Mainly MIG?
Yeah.
It's not easy when you're working around roll cages and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. The most aggravating part about welding is you just got to do it. You got to trial and error. I again, ignorant. I don't know a whole lot about it, but when I started getting down here and making mistakes and realizing, no, it's all right. Just next pass, scrap that metal, go for it, and don't be afraid to try something.
That's
for sure.
I would say that's definitely it. If you feel, just try it. Just keep doing it, and practice makes perfect. The more you do it, even if you don't know what you're doing, the more you do it, you're going to learn. You're going to teach yourself, because you're going to pick up on what's going wrong and what you got, adjustments you got to make.
And just go in with confidence. That's what I tell. It's like, just act like you've been there before.
And I'll say this too, and I can say this with confidence. Just because it's not pretty don't mean it won't hold.
Yeah, that's
just don't zoom in.
Don't look under
Don't zoom in on it. Don't zoom in.
As far as techniques and stuff and learning, I'm very hands-on person. And Ivan, when he was down here showing me, he's like, man, if you can pinstripe, you can weld. And I was like, I didn't understand what he was saying. I was like, I guess I'm dragging a line. And it made sense. You start puddling that puddle up, you get in the rhythm with that puddle, and it's just start filling. And it's one of those things for me. When it clicked. And you can, now it's like, well, I'm a little too hot, got a little too much wire speed, I'll back it off, whatever. And it's crazy because, I mean, the jig's right here, nothing really changes. And sometimes you'll get a piece of metal, you got to adapt real quick and go, all right, another pass.
If you're trying to open up a shop or do something kind of like they've done here at the SwimShop, a really great idea would be getting courses to teach you the things that you don't know. And that's where the American Welding program comes in. They've got something that you can start learning today. And because you're watching the podcast right now, if you use code WELD20, you can save 20%. Check out all the courses at theamericanweldingprogram.org. Now, let's get back to the conversation. What are some of the craziest builds you've done?
That's probably the one.
Yeah. That's
probably the craziest one. As far as with Seth and his artwork, he did all the artwork and painting and glass etching on it. I would say as far as the craziest, wildest one, van-wise, that's probably it.
You guys are unique. So taking a unique idea like this and getting the word out, what was that process like?
When we did the first van, we never thought it would come into a business. It was just, we built that first van, and it got, every time Seth would go to the gas station, he couldn't even leave. I mean, people would be around it looking at it because you just didn't see them every day. It was just one of those things. Every one we would build, somebody wanted it. We would sell it. And then we just started getting questions. People started contacting us, wanting to know how much it would cost to do one. And it just snowballed. It was never, ever, when we started doing it, an idea of making a business out of it. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened.
At the time, Ivan had jumped on board with us coming down here, because not only were we doing, we had the van stuff going on, but we were fixing up vehicles for people, doing some work like that. And the YouTube channel thing come up. It's like, hey, why don't you guys start doing a YouTube channel and start documenting some of this stuff? And so that just naturally rolled into that, and more questions. How did you do this? And so, it just, and at the time we didn't have the jig yet. So we were still building the kits one off on the vans, each one. So it kind of both happened at the same time. And when people start asking, hey, are you going to be able to make these into kits and stuff like that, we're like,
you got to deliver, right?
Let's go for it. Let's see. So there's tons and tons of stuff on our YouTube about, I mean, if you come out of there with more questions, then just go back to the YouTube channel. Cause I mean, there's videos documenting everything you could possibly know about a G Series Chevy 4x4 van.
There is a community of people that is into this vibe. So like, and you guys go do a bunch of runs and everything. So kind of talk about like how you got involved with the community after you started building these monsters.
As you know, it's just like music. You kind of, when you have your band, you start meeting people. It's the same thing. You know, when you have such a niche vehicle and you start following Facebook pages, YouTube stuff, everything, you start finding out, oh, well, there's other people into this thing. So that's where people like the people Heavy in the Holler that run that event, and then everything from there to the congregation, Prism Supply, and the congregations, like I said, I mean, it's just, last year went up to Glory Days up in Pittsburgh to that show, and it's just finding your community and people and stuff. So it starts naturally happening as you throw this stuff out there. There's
so much stuff going on out there you don't know about. If you Google it, you'll be surprised what is really going on out there. There's so many things that you can get into.
Hey,
it's crazy.
I've gone to many events y'all have put on, and I was like, these are some rowdy bunches out there. You know?
Well, yeah. Well, shout out to my mom, Michelle Williams, and Olivia Williams, putting on Power and Sound. That's 5 years in a row been putting on Power and Sound.
4 years, I believe it was. 4 or 5. We don't know.
You were the first people that I'd ever seen that had like cool 4x4 vans, and then when Power and Sound, then it was like, oh, there's a lot more people like this, because like they come stack them up and you do the little tour, you go and look through all these different vans. Donnie.
Yeah, it's a whole day for Donnie.
Shout out to Donnie Ray.
But it's just, I mean, that's the thing is online, it opens up a lot of ways to meet other people that are into stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, the van, like we were talking about, like that's a pretty narrow niche. And as we could see in the shop here, we're also surrounded by choppers, right? And motorcycles, because I mean, that's a little bit more accessible to people to modify, you know?
And I mean, vans and choppers, that's like peanut butter and jelly. You go to a chopper show, you're probably going to see somebody that hauled their bike in the van. It's camping out of their van, and it's probably going to be fixed up with a mural and Krager mags on it, something like that. It's like, hey, I got a van with Krager mags and a mural. I'm going to go talk to that guy.
Hey, let's be buds.
Yeah.
They do go hand in hand, that's for sure. They sure do.
You can't see one without the other.
But you specifically, you are quite the artist when it comes to painting. Like your tanks are awesome. Your etching is awesome. Glass etching is awesome. You know.
Well, it's kind of like I say, it's like about everything. Just because I have the tools, not mean I'm a master. I just have the tools and play around with them.
Well, it's that you do it. Like I think that's the big thing. Is like there's a lot of people, especially on the internet, you know, they'll watch videos of people doing stuff. They'll get all the stuff to do it, but they never actually do it. And it's the fact that you're doing it. When it comes to customizing choppers and doing stuff, like what kind of work are people coming to you for?
The Sportster stuff. I mean, we're big Sportster fans, and that's the most accessible and I think easier one of the motorcycles to
affordable
customize.
too.
And affordable, and the aftermarket is crazy. So when I wanted a bike, he said, well, there's no way that you're going to have a bike and I'm not going to have a bike again. So
it's like, we're both going to have
it snowballed. And so, and of course, with the van stuff, had friends that had motorcycles, and I got the bug and wanted a motorcycle bad. So I don't know, I got my Sportster, you got your big twin, and we started, and again, the community, you know, a guy might be able to wrench on it. So it's like, hey, I don't have access to a welder, or, you know, I'm not confident enough in chopping this frame in half and welding it myself. So
putting it back together.
And putting it back together. So it was another thing where we had the space. We kind of had, I don't know, a little bit of ignorance of know-how.
Yeah, I mean,
you research a lot more than I do.
We're bad. When we do something, we can't just stick our toe in. We have to just jump
go all in.
Yeah, and it just gets crazy. And
just through the years of knowing you guys, like I've always really just been a big fan of everything you do, from like festivals to doing like meetups, doing the cool custom stuff. And the coolest thing to me is like, you're doing it as a family, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it can be hard to work with your family sometimes. So
we hate each other. We can't stand each other.
What's like some advice for like working with your family?
When we had our kids, we made a decision that we were going to, I guess, grow up with them. And we've done everything together since they were kids. And I don't know, we just get along. We like the same things. And I don't know where it could be any better where you walk 200 feet from where you live and get to work every day with your son.
Yeah.
I mean, and we do. We do it every day. It's just, it's going to be give and take. You're going to fight. You're going to get upset with each other. But
to his credit, when he gets an idea in his head, there's no way until the next morning he's not going to know everything about it because...
Well, it's just the thing about it is your generation, you don't know how easy you got it. I came along, I didn't have YouTube.
Right.
I had to make mistakes. Y'all got everything. There's no excuse in the world for not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
If there's something you want to do, somebody's put a YouTube video on out there. So you have no excuses for not doing it if you want to do it.
Yeah, we don't even have to read books anymore.
You don't have to do anything.
I can just listen to any book I want instead of reading.
Exactly right, man.
So, it's just, it's one of those things like when I get on something or it's easy to have the same interest because, we're both down here all the time. So for us, when one of us grabs a hold of something, it's usually going to be the other follows, especially. So
if y'all like the same thing, it's going to be a whole lot easier to get along.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's really cool kind of hearing the story behind it all. But if people want to see for themselves and they want to find your YouTube videos, like all your work, where should they go find your stuff?
At the SwimShop 4x4. You can type that handle in on just about anything. You'll find us, and even the SwimShop 4x4 at Gmail. It's our email there. But yeah, as far as YouTube, you'll see everything from building vans to motorcycle trips to tearing down motorcycles to getting engines running and everything. So
peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly.
It's something for everyone on that channel. Well, I really appreciate you guys having me out.
Well, man, we really appreciate you coming, man. It means a lot that you had interest in what we're doing down here.
Of course. Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Weld. And thank you, Justin and Seth, for coming on the episode and inviting me out to the shop. Until next time, see you out there.